Good morning, good morning. It is August the 16th, Wednesday, and it's a beautiful day here in South Carolina. Great day to be alive. Thank the Lord that He woke us up in our right mind, strengthened our body, and air in our lungs, and able to try and do His will. I'm back here. I'm your host, Danny Graham, and this is another episode of The Road to Wisdom, a continuation of the encouragement series. And today's word, as you can see right here, is contribute. Contribute is the name of the word, is the word of the day. And I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. Contribute, the definition of that is give something in order to help achieve or provide something. Give something in order to help or achieve or provide something. The scripture today comes from the book of Proverbs. You know, Proverbs is my favorite book. And it is coming from the 11th chapter, the 25th verse, and it says, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Say that one more time. Book of Proverbs, 11th chapter, 25th verse. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. And contribute. Everybody want to be contributing, be a positive contributor to your family, to your job, to your church, to whatever profession or whatever walk of life you want to be in. If you're trying to be productive, you want to be contribute. You want to pull your fair share of the load, so to speak. Now, there are some people that don't want to pull their fair share of the load. They want to take advantage of people. They want to go take shortcuts. They don't want to do anything. And those are the ones you stay away from. But today we're going to focus on the positive side of contributing and what I think it means from a biblical standpoint and also from today's world standpoint. We're going to get into the biblical standpoint. Living the gospel and living the way that Jesus and God wants you to live is the first way that you can contribute. Because if you live a godly life, if you live a life that's righteous, you're going to try and do good things on all aspects of life. You're going to try and be, when people need help, you're going to try and provide them help. People need good advice, you're going to try and do that. When people are doing things wrong, you're going to tell them they're doing things wrong, but not in such a mean-spirited way like a lot of times you want to do. A lot of times people do something wrong, or they think that they're wrong. They think that they're so untouchable. They don't sweep around their own doorstep, and their own doorstep has a lot of dirt. Contributing to society and contributing in a biblical sense that you live in a righteous life as best you can. If you do something that you ask the Lord immediately for forgiveness, and that you try to do better the next time you do it. As a human, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, and that's the flesh. Flesh is weak. But if you recognize what you're doing, then you go ahead and ask for forgiveness. The Lord will forgive you, and then you keep trying to contribute into a very positive way. A lot of times at the church, a lot of times people just kind of go through the motions, but contributing is like not only contributing with your tithes or with your love offerings, or if you're going to send stuff to pay money like for trips that go over and help people and stuff, and missionary trips, that kind of stuff. It's more than that. Sometimes it can be connecting with somebody in the church, or connecting with somebody at the job, or connecting with someone at school if you're a teacher, and trying to get that person to have a proper and a positive frame of mind so they can be a very healthy and very productive contributing member of society. A lot of times you have people in society that don't contribute. They just want to take. They don't want to do their fair share. They don't want to do their part. And they're just sitting there more or less being a leech. And that's not a productive way to contribute to anything. Contributing is when you do the very best you can do. It may not be as much as some other people, but when you're doing your very best and you're giving from your heart, and you're giving from a place, and you put in the extra effort, and you're trying to help someone, genuinely help someone, or genuinely try to lend whatever skill set you have to make a situation better, or to resolve a potential problem, or to solve a existing problem, that is contributing, and that's what everybody should want to do. That has any kind of decency about them. See, I use decency, one of the words. Um, Also, caring for those in need, like I said earlier. Being there are a lot of things that you can do to give. One of the things we do, I try to clean out my closet every 6 months. My wife do, and we have yard sales. And if the yard sales don't produce anything, then we take our clothes to the Goodwill, and we take it to the bins that you can see where you give clothes and shoes and stuff, to try and give it to people that are less fortunate than us, trying to contribute to make certain people, certain lives a little bit easier, maybe a little bit more comfortable than if we hadn't. And if everybody does that, then I think that would make life a little bit better. Um, um, One thing I do to try to contribute is this YouTube channel. Um, like I said, a few months ago, I became saved, more spiritually aware, and made a different change in my life. And I'm trying to contribute. I'm trying to pay that the knowledge and the wisdom that God has given me, and I'm trying to pass it on to people. How this whole thing got started is that I was a father giving encouragement to his kids, and I would send them these little words of the day, quotes of the day, and just tell them my mind set on a particular word that I sent for that morning. And then once this happened to me, and I got more spiritually aware and took responsibility for my spiritual life, then I parlayed that, or kind of just transitioned into that organically into what you see now, the road to wisdom. And that's what I'm trying to do. I pray every morning for three things. I pray for more wisdom from God, to be more wise. I pray to bridle my tongue, not to say things so crazy like I used to say at one time. And I pray for be slow to anger. And I also pray to let Lord choose my words. Let Lord guide me in a way that is pleasing to him, not a way that's pleasing to Danny, because sometimes Danny can be really crazy. But if I try to listen to that inner voice in me, and I read the Bible and I do different things, then I try to contribute at work for as the young officers that don't have the experience that I have, don't have seen some of the things I've seen. When they ask questions, or I get an opportunity to try and learn, to teach them something, and also learn something from them too, because I don't know everything. It's a mutual and beneficial, symbiotic, so to speak, relationship. I give them something, they give me something. But I try to pass on to the young officers and show them things in certain situations, certain moments that are teaching moments. I try to show them and say, look, it's better to do it this way, or you might want to do it this way because of ABC 1, 2, 3. My way's not always best, but it's just another option for them, another tool they can put in their tool belt. Because when they're out there and seeing some things that I've already seen, and older officers that has more experience already seen, it's kind of comforting to know that if you do come across something you can see. And I always tell my officers, call my phone. My phone never goes off. I took this position, and it would be crazy for me to get mad because somebody's calling me to ask a question. I don't care what time it is. Call me 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It does not matter. It is my job to help the young officers in my division. I have 2 supervisors, captain and lieutenant, in a particular division that I work, and they're help, and they're very knowledgeable. But sometimes, like I said, if they can't be reached, then I have no problem with my guys calling me and asking me a question. I'm going to try and guide them. Again, I don't know everything, but it's my job to pass on and contribute the knowledge that I have to them as a learning tool and as a learning process. So when they do come up with something, they will have confidence and have, see, another word I use, confidence in their ability and in their decision making, and into doing things that's right by South Carolina state law as well as by our sheriff's office policy and procedure. So that's what I try to do as far as the contribution part of it. And one thing in the biblical sense, families should be united, same page with religion. So when we pass on from this world to the next world, I want to see my family. I want to see all my family in heaven. I know realistically it probably won't happen because some people are going to miss the bus. I hope they don't. I really, really, really hope they don't. But for me and truthful myself, everybody's not going to be in heaven. A lot of people are going to be in heaven, but a lot of people are going to be in hell as well. And I hope, the way that I feel and the way that I know my mindset is now, I don't intend on being in hell. I intend on doing what I need to do, get my wings, and be in heaven the rest of my days. That's what I'm working for. That is the goal. So I'm trying to make sure that my family on the same page that I am. I'm doing everything in my power to contribute to their spiritual development, to contribute to their spiritual belief, to contribute to their spiritual growth. That is my job as the patriarch of my family, or my particular family here in my house. My father's the patriarch of our family, and he is setting the example, and I want to do the same thing for my family. So that is my contribution to my wife, my 2 daughters, my son, my grandsons, my son-in-law, everybody. I want us all to be together for eternity. That is my contribution. That's what I'm trying to do. And also, this show is trying to contribute to that too. To everybody that chooses to listen to this, to your spiritual well-being, this show is trying to contribute to the growth of that, to the exposure of that, to let you know that there is positivity still left in the world, that there are people that believe in God's word. There are people that are speaking God's word. I am one of those people, and I strongly believe in God, and I know that He can make a way out of no way. I know that when things seem to be bad, that God is going to have good right around the corner. You just have to be patient. So part of that process, that whole spiritual process, is people that have that faith need to contribute their spiritual energy, like I'm trying to do here now, to make sure that at least you know. You can't say that you didn't know, somebody didn't tell you. That won't be the case. I told you. I'm trying to lead you in the correct way. So you can't use that excuse, well, I didn't know. No one ever told me. I'm here trying to tell you and tell you it's a good thing, trying to contribute to your spiritual legacy, trying to contribute to your spiritual growth. That is what this whole show is about. The Road to Wisdom and the Encouragement Series. That is the main purpose of what the shows are about. In today's world, to contribute to society, time. Just donate your time. A lot of times we get so locked up and so busy in our careers or in other aspects and stuff that we just don't give time to our family members. We don't give time to people. We don't give time to young officers that may ask for help because we're so busy, like I said, and so wrapped up in our own issues and stuff. You have to make a conscious decision, a conscious effort to carve out time to share with people, to just socialize with them, just to hey, go to lunch with them, hey, just see what's on your mind, what's going on. Give them your time because, believe it or not, people are watching and they're gonna see whether or not, well, Major Graham, he just does this. He's all show, but he's no go. You should be both. You should be showing, you should be go. What you say and what you speak and how you act should reflect on what you actually do. And that's something that I try to do. One thing I do that is I put in my time on certain aspects of it, but when push comes to shove, I don't ask any of my guys to do something that I wouldn't do or have done in the past. It's kind of it's kind of like a rite of passage. I've done what you've done, and now you have to do it. But if the job needs to get done, then guess what? I'm not too high up. I'm not too good to do the job. And like I said, that's contributing to their development, far as their work ethic, their habits. Because when I'm gone, they're going to have to take up the mantle, and they're going to have to learn and do what I do, and pass that on. So this profession, so that this knowledge, so that this wisdom that is trying to be passed on doesn't die and go to the wayside. So it's a continuous cycle as far as contributing. Another thing you can do is random acts of kindness. Have you ever been in a line? I have, and I've done this before. Let's say you go to McDonald's or Burger King, and when you pull up to the window, someone had already paid for your breakfast. How many times that happened to you? That happened to me quite often, and then I start to look. This kindness, I might as well go ahead and start repaying. I need to go ahead and start repaying it. So there's been a couple of mornings. I hadn't done it in a while now, but I'm still going to do it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it here pretty soon. Where I look behind and I see someone and I say, hey, what's their breakfast amount? And they say, it's this whatever. I go ahead and pay it. There was a movie I think called Pay It Forward, where people did random acts of kindness, and I think the name of the movie was Pay It Forward. And that's something you should do to contribute to. That person may be having a bad day, but just to that small gesture can brighten that person's day, can make their day so much better. Well, that person could be short. Never can tell. A lot of times, adults are short, and then they may think they got just enough money, or they got enough money to pay for it, but then they may not have to have money for lunch or whatever the case may be. And you may have just saved them. You may have just provided them with a meal that they didn't have any way, what they prayed for. Lord, please, let me have enough or whatever. Lord, please, let me eat this breakfast until I can make some money and get some more tomorrow. You may have just saved them a few dollars that they can get actually lunch or dinner that night. So by paying a random act of kindness, you may be helping somebody out that's really in a jam, and that's contributing to their overall well-being. That's contributing to, hey, you're doing the right thing. You're doing something that's kind, something you don't have to do, but something that you want to do, and is a positive thing in doing that. Also, our children. Our children are our future, and our children are always looking at us for the example. They're looking at the good things we do as well as the bad things we do. And a lot of times, the bad things we're doing now in this world it seems to sadly be outnumbering the good things. So take time with a child. If you see someone that's struggling, see someone that needs mentoring, see someone that you connect to, and y'all have a good rapport, take time, and you might be just what that child needs, and put them on the proper road in life, help them in life, help them do things, help them solve problems that maybe they're not getting at home. So that can be something that the little acts of kindness you're doing here now can make that person a very contributing citizen later on down the road, and that is a good thing. Doing a lot of charities and fundraisers, that's another good way that you can contribute to people that's less fortunate than you are. I know a lot of times that it seems like these charities and stuff just keep coming back and back and back, but back to back. But one thing you can do is find one that you really are passionate about, one that really kind of strikes home, and one that makes you say, I think I want to do that, and just contribute. I ain't saying you got to give hundreds of dollars, but give whatever your heart, the Lord lays on your heart, and give whatever you can afford. And that's another way to contribute to people that are less fortunate than yourself. One thing you can do, I've never done this, is plant a tree. As you know, trees grow up and they provide wood and lumber for homes. They also provide paper, but also they provide us oxygen. So by planting a tree, man, you're making the earth just a little bit more greener, and because they need carbon dioxide to grow, and of course they produce oxygen, and we definitely need oxygen to breathe. So that is definitely a symbiotic relationship. So plant a tree, and never can tell if tree might grow up and be in your yard, and would be really cool if you plant a bunch of trees and you grow up, and then your children or your grandchildren uses those trees to pay for college, or I know a friend of mine that did that. They paid for when she was born, her dad planted a bunch of trees on an acre, maybe 2 acres, and when she got high school age, he cut the lumber and paid for her entire college. That's something that you can do and think about. Or you could take that same lumber that your dad built, your granddad built, and build your house with it. That would be another cool thing to do, contributing to the family legacy. Support small businesses. When I was a police officer in a small town, my hometown, I met a individual there that running a convenience store, and he told me, he said, "Look, people like Walmart and the big stores, they're killing the small businesses, because if you go to Walmart, they have places you can fix your car and tires. They got clothes you can buy. Now they got grocery stores. They got the pharmacy in there. So these other mom and pop stores, the mom and pop pharmacies, the mom and pop clothing stores, the mom and pop the mechanic shops, all that's in Walmart. So those small towns that had the mechanic shop or in the filling station, and had grocery store. I know this my small town. It only has one grocery store now. One grocery store and Walmart. That's it. And it once had Piggly Wiggly, IGA, had 2 IGAs, Piggly Wiggly, and something else. And now only has IGA and Walmart. That's it. All the other grocery stores had to close down. Just too much competition. Also, where you contribute is if giving monies to a worthwhile organization. Pick one that you like. There's several out there, man, and just contribute. That definitely helps. You never know if you contribute somebody to a student loan, pay off their student loan, or get a scholarship. That is definitely something that contributes to society and the betterment of our society. Gifts and goods. If you can provide gifts and goods for someone, that's definitely something that could help someone that maybe is in a jam financially. And if you provide that gift, you provide those goods for them on a certain basis or whatever, then that's something that can definitely help out someone that's less fortunate as you are. And loans, like student loans, or if you're in a position to be a philanthropist and you can give people loans to start small businesses, build their first homes, first cars, whatever the case may be. If that's something that you that you are wealthy enough or financially stable enough to do that, that's definitely a way that you can contribute to. So this is just my um, 2 cents on this word, contribute. And I'm going to go ahead and close my show. And before I close, if this is your first time ever seeing me on this channel, please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Please give me a thumb up. That's a like. And leave a comment because I would definitely read it. And I'm going to close with the contribute quote for the day. And the quote of the day is, the quality of your life will be determined by the quality of your contributions. When you work to improve the lives of others, your life improves automatically. I want to say that one more time. The quality of life will be determined by the quality of your contribution. When you work to improve the lives of others, your life improves automatically. And as always, I will be back here tomorrow, which will be Thursday, October the 17th. Same bat time, same bat channel. And the word of the day for tomorrow will be free will. That's going to be a good one, I think. Free will. So I thank you all for supporting me. I definitely thank you for joining me on the road to wisdom. You are always welcome. And until tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you have a good day. Be blessed. And peace be with you.